Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all of these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear from Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes.
Do you think that worked?
Rock this thing.
All right, we have Mr. Edward Rodriguez out of Miami, a serial entrepreneur, Sean. He's the CEO of BPN Capital Group, multi-service firm powered by blockchain technology. He's a master at blockchain. Welcome, Edward Rodriguez. We are so honored that you are here. Thanks for coming to The Real Raw.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Definitely a pleasure.
Welcome to the party, my friend. Thank you. And thank everybody for being here, for your courage, your vulnerability, stepping into the real raw. For some people, it's like, what is this? I've heard of it, but I'm not sure what it is, or I haven't heard of it. I don't know. We're unlocking the superpower of influence, what to do with it, because whether we're present to it or not, our superpower of influence or not, where we're on the scale of mastery, is affecting our money, time, and magic right now. Like what we do with it, getting ourselves to use it with integrity. So Edward, thank you for being here. And what is your fun fact?
All right. My fun fact today, I used to play baseball since I was a child.
Ooh.
I used to be very good at the bat, even though I'm a 5'6", 5'7". I was batting about 490 through my high school years.
Nice.
And I still play ball today. I have a very bad lesion that prevented for me to go pro. But I was seen by many colleges. I tried out for a couple Major League Baseball teams and everything, and it wasn't for me pretty much because I had an accident and broke my left arm and can't play professionally. But definitely, I still enjoy the game. I still play every Sunday.
Very nice. Playing baseball or softball?
Baseball.
Nice. Yeah, there's some people that say that if you're a true baseball player, you never convert to softball. I'm not saying I agree. I know it's said. So welcome. Where'd you go to high school growing up?
I agree with that. I went to high school in the Dominican Republic for the first 2 years. I ended up finishing high school here in Miami.
Nice. Well, hotbeds of baseball talent. Welcome, Edward, and thank you for sharing a little bit of your life with us.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for having me.
Gina, we got Edward, who's never converting to softball, and we have
Abby Ritchie is doing something like different I hadn't heard of before. She's a tech guru for seniors out of Scottsdale, Arizona, right by where we spent some time back in November with Bella and team. She's the host of Abby is Live, featured on ABC, CW, Fox, extraordinary, heart-centered woman. Welcome, Abby, to The Real Raw. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
Hey, Abby, thanks for being here. And what from Scottsdale, perhaps in the shadows of Camelback Mountain, what is your fact?
I am actually really close to the Fairmont Princess, where I know you are all just a stone's throw away. So I'm a lot closer to that landmark than I am to Camelback, but I'm thrilled to be here. And you asked, why am I here today?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I am on a fast track, not a slow track, but a fast track to serve the best generation and teach them the tech skills that they need in order to excel in today's world. And I have been serving them and meeting them through the senior communities, but now I want to start engaging with them while they're still living at home and while they're aging in place.
Excellent. Well, Abby, thank you for that. That's pretty awesome. And Abby, how about a fun fact about the Scottsdale area is that we have the largest jury verdict in the last decade in the state of Arizona. We had a $27 million jury verdict in 2016. In a business breakup case, I had to cross-examine with this Integris influence formula, the Inspector General of the state of Arizona, who was deceptively saying there was no fraud from this person when there was fraud. And the jury was actually laughing at him when we were concluded. So we have many, many fond days of that beautiful moment of truth and light coming through, but also 6 long years to get to that day. So know Arizona quite well. We also have an office in Phoenix currently. So thank you for coming from the great state of Arizona.
You are welcome. I'm glad to represent.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you, Abby. Edward, Abby, we got some judges, Gina.
We have MD3, and that's what he goes by. That's his name, MD3, out of LA, architect, broker, general contractor, master of real estate, runs his commercial development consultancy. He is worked with Walt Disney, Universal, Warner Brothers. Welcome, MD3, to The Real Raw.
Thanks for having me.
MD3, what's up? How cool a name is that?
It's short for Michael Joseph Donovan III, so it's just easier.
Okay.
I'm not fond of Mike or Michael, so my friends called me MD3 in high school, and so boom, here we are.
All right, that is awesome. I was like, the only other person that goes by letters like that is R2D2 or C3.
Yeah, he's my cousin. My cousin.
P.S. But, by the way, R2D2 is in fact, for those that don't pay quite close attention, the hero of the Star Wars movies. Many people, R2D2 was literally in every meaningful moment of every Star Wars epic scenario and victory in the big wars. So yeah, MD3, what is your fun fact besides that you're the cousin of R2D2?
Yeah, I don't see him too often anymore, but my fun fact is I used to design theme parks for Disney, and I've worked on 9 theme parks around the world, and some parks that I design are built and I've never even been to, like in Japan. I've never been to Japan. So that's my fun fact.
What is your favorite theme park that you've created?
It's in Tokyo. It's called Tokyo Disney Seas in Tokyo, Japan. And I designed I was part of the team that designed the Italian theme hotel called the Miracosta, which is the big first thing you see as you approach the park, and everybody has to go underneath it. And I got the job because I studied architecture in Italy. And so that's why, and I've never, ever, ever been to it. I have pictures of it I stole from the internet, but I've never took my own pictures because I've never been to Japan. Yet I'm married to a Japanese girl. And I've been to Asia twice.
You got
my family hosted Japanese exchange students for 12 years, 2 in the spring, 2 in the fall, 48 kids. I don't know. I've never been to Japan.
Wow.
It's architecture, build a theme park with benefits. Amazing job, MD3, right? So, an MD3, by the way, how about this? Can I disagree with you with one thing off the bat?
Sure. Let's start with that.
Yeah. You said that you got that job because you studied architecture in Italy, correct?
It was one of the reasons.
Yeah. I would say it was a small reason. I would say to get that job, you have to be unbelievably extraordinary at what you do. because Disney's not messing around with just anybody. So congratulations on an extraordinarily successful life.
Thank you. Appreciate it. That was my past career. Now I'm into real estate development. It's not as fun or exciting, but whatever. Yeah.
Very, very cool. And the Disney Corp had the privilege of speaking to 160 execs at Disney about a week and a half ago. And I continue to marvel at all the things they create there. So
yeah, it's an incredible place.
Yeah, awesome. Gina.
That is incredible. Next up, we have out of Rochester, New York, self-described as a horse of a different color, Mr. Jeff Garcia, private equity, venture capital, real estate, hedge fund. One film project was nominated for multiple Golden Globes and Academy Awards, Sean, like Time Magazine's Top 100 Inventions of 2019 and more. Welcome, Jeff Garcia, to The Real Raw.
Holy cow, Jeff. You got some serious stuff going on, man.
Yes, thank you so much. It's, much of that is credit to my business partners as well. It's not entirely me, but, felt very privileged to represent ideas like that I could really put my heart and soul into and then share that with people and essentially try to find investors. So
yeah. What's the top 100 time invention?
That was a plastics recycling company. They actually filed IPO this year. So that was exciting to be a part of as well. Both to learn about, I'm not an engineer in background, so to learn about what they were doing and how, and then to find folks that would find that not only materially, possibly advantageous to them, but then also that they could, really get their heart and soul into as well. So, I feel very privileged to be able to advocate things like that.
Well, absolutely awesome. Congratulations, and thank you for being here.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
And P.S. What's your fun fact besides the fact that you're in time with the top 100 invention?
So I was trying to think about that. A fun fact is I have a friend that does film production and whatnot, and I served as an extra he did a series for John Maxwell, the motivational speaker, and I was an extra in some of that. So it was a fun experience. First time, I've done some different things in film, film capital raises and things like that. It's not my focus, but to be on the other side of the camera and taking direction, it was a lot of fun. So,
well, thank you for being here today. Truly appreciate you, and let's rock and roll.
All right. Thank you.
Gina.
All right. Next, we have from New York, financial advisor of Charter Oak Financial, informing her clients about the many faces of finance. Welcome, Linda Travis. She's excited to be here. Welcome to The Real Raw, Linda.
Hi.
Hi, Linda. How are you?
I'm so much better now. I was basically intrigued to come and participate today because I heard that you were going to be part of the panel. I was very excited at the opportunity to meet you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
It's too true.
What is our intersection in life?
Well, actually, we have a friend in common, or at least we do now. A friend of mine introduced me to the panel yesterday. Several days ago, but then yesterday was the panel. And so 2 times in the last couple of weeks, I met with Jason, who speaks very highly of you. You might be pleased to know.
Thank you.
And I see, obviously, there's a good reason for that. So when he called and suggested there was a possibility that I could join you this afternoon, all collectively, everyone, not only was I excited at the opportunity, but particularly like the frosting on the cake was that you would be a part of the group.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, that's very kind of you. I really appreciate that. I feel it. I feel your authenticity and your acknowledgement is received with gratitude and humility. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And what is your fun fact?
Oh, I was the first woman general foreman ever to be hired on a railroad to work in the mechanical department. And it was a groundbreaking moment because after that, lots of other things changed.
So what I'm hearing is your ability to love people unconditionally with boundaries must be very strongly in place to be driving forward in that world.
Well, I don't do that anymore, but I did do that and things like it for a long time. And you really must be quite stalwart, but you can't be formidable. So it was a very important learning experience. And I'm delighted to have an opportunity to maybe discuss it or share it with others, however it may apply.
Awesome. Linda, we appreciate you enormously. Thank you for being here.
Indeed, a pleasure indeed.
Wow.
Gina,
We have incredible people here.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
We
Yes.
do. We do.
And Gina?
Yes.
And I am here with you today, Sean. I am the role player, and I'm very honored and grateful. I love people. I am honored to meet the people, incredible people I meet every day, because I love life. I love freedom. I want to live free, and I want to be a part of giving more of that to people. And with what we get to do here, where Integrous Influence is what's up, where to go to rise your money, time, and magic. That's what's happening here. And in with magic, we can do anything. We can do anything.
So let's go get it and have fun, Gina. So let's rock and roll. Well, you mean here, who's going to go first today?
All right.
Let's.
I'd like to go first, actually, but I have something interesting to propose, even though I had something totally different planned for today. I fell intrigued to what Jeff said, and I'd like to do the role play with Jeff, Gina, if you don't mind, if you're not gonna get jealous.
No, nobody's getting jealous, and let's have some fun with that. So, who would you like Jeff to be?
Well, I want Jeff to be Jeff, and I'd like to understand what are his objections and on blockchain, and I want to explain a bit more so we can share back and forward, because unfortunately, there's a lot of disinformation about blockchain out there. I mean, just to share the most recent, 2 days ago.
Ed, before, why don't you bring that up in your role plays today, so you can introduce all those things. That sound good?
That sounds good.
Yeah. So Jeff, is this cool with you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Happy to talk about anything.
Yeah. So we're going to go 3 minutes, and then there might be a quick interruption, and then Abby will go, and then we'll do another 3 minutes. So you have 6 minutes to go from hello to yes with Jeff, including anything you want. The judges will give some beautiful feedback. So please, Ed, take us in.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, Jeff. How are you?
I'm wonderful today. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. I actually got connected with you through a mutual friend that mentioned you are in the hedge fund world and that you are close to the idea of working with blockchain. And I wanted to see if we can talk to see what are your ideas and what is it that you see that it's so negatively about it.
Well, I think I actually support the idea of blockchain. I think the technology is very interesting and advanced, and I do think that recent events like the pandemic and immobility and things like that, I think it lends itself well to. I think it lends itself well to areas like art and creating unique kind of IDs, if you will, for whether it's transactions or, maintaining creative control and things like that. So I think that it's got, certainly its strong suits on the blockchain side. Now, on the currency side, that's where I have a problem. I have a problem with it for a number of reasons, and this is my own personal take. My problem is, in my opinion, it's not necessary. I also think that it's greatly overvalued. I think that, for anything to be worth $60,000 is a hard bargain. Now, it's not to say that it won't exist, but I just think that, that's a challenge area for it. I also think that a lot of nefarious characters have gotten into, scamming people. Most recently, the Colonial Pipeline hackers took quite a bit of money in the form of Bitcoin. I also think that countries themselves define themselves in a number of ways, including their own sovereign currency. And so to eradicate that and to have a single global currency causes a lot of geopolitical challenges. So anyways, that's kind of a short and sweet, but it's just the currency side I'm not a fan of, but the technology itself, we're seeing some growth in areas like insurance, for example. So, there's a lot of applications to it, I think, but that's kind of the short and sweet for me.
Well, you are in the right track, actually. So the most thing that I was able to take from you is that you are on the side, you understand that blockchain is a technology and that the currency side is just an application of the technology. You see, unfortunately, in the marketplace, we have people confused with thinking that blockchain and the cryptocurrencies are the same thing. You see, Google and the internet
And we're
are.
gonna take a quick pause if we could, and we'll pick it up right there. We just got to keep things moving. Is that cool? We pause?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so we're going to come back for round two. Excellent work. Thank you very much. Abby, are you ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Who would you like Gina to be?
I would like Gina to be Benjamin Breyer, who is the CEO of Kindred Healthcare. Kindred Healthcare is the #1 home healthcare company in the US.
Nice.
And I like to go for the gold.
Let's go. Gina, you ready?
Let's do it.
Take us in. Thank you.
Okay. Ring, ring. I liked that, Edward. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, Ben. I'm so thankful you took my call today. I know we talked earlier. You said you have 2 parents still living. You're helping them all the time with their technology, right? And
I am. Yes.
I mentioned to you
And
I have
do,
5,
yes.
thank God. And our folks need help with their technology. There's no doubt about it. Every time I see them, there's another question about their iPhone. And I developed and created this company, Senior Savvy, and it's designed to help older people understand their technology their way. We've come into this market where there's 50 million people over the age of 65. You know that probably better than I do with being in home health care. And yet so many of them are left out of the equation when it comes to teaching them technology. Well, Senior Savvy has been providing technology to these people who are at senior resort communities around the country. And we want to start offering the same level of professional instruction with your clients.
That is intriguing. Yeah, they certainly do need help. And we, at this time, we don't have anything like that. I don't know if that's in the budget, but I definitely am open to hearing a little bit more. So tell me a little, how does it work?
So this is an add-on to the services you're already providing. You already have the clients in place. They already need and want technology education. And so what we do is we offer a weekly workshop to your clients. So this is going to be something that's exclusive for your clients. They're going to log on either with the help of the caregiver that's you have placed there, or someone on our staff will help them log on to a weekly Zoom workshop with tech topics that they care about, like email tips, passwords and security, iPhone basics. So we really just focus in on the basics. And when they feel more knowledgeable, more confident, they are then empowered to connect and engage with their family and friends. And that's really something that's been highlighted and underscored so many times in this past year when people were unable to get together. So we've developed this ability to reach people, to educate them, and to teach them the skills that they need.
Well, I can tell you my parents call me every time they need something. So I'm intrigued.
Touche. Touche.
Abby, awesome job. We're going to pick it up in a few minutes. So how'd that feel for you, Abby?
Great. Yeah. I'm confident that there is a huge need for this. It's just a matter of getting in front of the right people.
Well, beautiful. Let's see what our outstanding judges have to say about this. Judges, please, 30 seconds of feedback. What we're assessing is Edward and Abby's ability in that round, or level of mastery in opening up listening on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being like listening wide open, deep connection, 5 being and anywhere in between. So let's start with Linda. What 30 seconds of feedback do you have, please, for Edward on that round?
Edward does a fine job of himself with respect to his business and how he sees what he's doing and the tools that he's using. I am really impressed with his range of knowledge on those subjects. And I think he did a very good job of introducing them or the subject to Jeff in order to hear what he said in return. I don't think there was quite enough time for each of them to get adequate time to explain.
And your score is, Linda? Your
I'd
score
say
from 1 to 10?
An 8.4.
Nice. Okay, and how about for Abby, Linda?
How about Abby?
20 seconds. Yes, what'd you have
Yes,
for
your feed.
Oh, Abby has a wonderful idea and she's overloaded with enthusiasm for it. I think she did a fine job of introducing it to Gina, and that Gina sounded appropriately intrigued. She followed up with more supportive information, and they even rang a bell on the fact that elderly parents call them all the time. So under the circumstances, it looks quite promising for another conversation. I also think it was promising for Edward and Jeff to have another conversation as well. So I would say.
And your score for Abby?
8.5.
Okay.
Nice. Well, thank you for that, Linda. MD3, what do you have for Edward, please?
Edward, I think the questions need to be really focused so you can get more specific answers and driving towards that yes. Your objective is to get him to commit to something else, either another meeting or conversation. And so you let him just keep going and going and going and going, and so you really kind of got to pull him back a little bit or ask questions that are more directed. This is not the time for debate, because you want to just get him to the first yes and then move forward. And when you meet him in person, maybe you debate the pros and cons. So shorter questions directed to get a yes. And 7.5.
Nice. And how about for Abby, MD3, please?
Because I could see her and she's animated and her facial expressions were very positive and it kept me paying attention. But you need more clear objective of what you're trying to accomplish. You're both speakers very knowledgeable about their topic, but it's not about how much you know, it's how much you care. And so also selling the benefits of what you're trying to do to not sell the benefits of not to the seniors, but to the person you're trying to get in front of. Why are you calling them? What is the waste of their time? And you had a very clear voice. I understand all your words, so that was very controlled and good.
Nice, excellent.
And your score?
9.0.
Oh, very nice, Abby. That's MD3. Jeff, what did you have for, since you were involved in the role play, with Jeff Edward?
Well, I think MD3's feedback was fairly spot on with some of my own observations. I felt like the blockchain conversation started out a little bit like adversarial, perhaps, and I'm saying that in the nicest of ways, but it's like, well, why don't you think this? And I think sometimes we run the risk of if I talk to you long enough, you'll agree with what I'm saying, right? And I think initially when we got onto the call, I think it's important to recognize that sometimes people just have different opinions. So it's not that I don't know, it's just that I may not agree fully. And I think MD3's suggestion in getting me to a yes, getting into the arena, so to speak, get me to a yes, I think was fantastic. But I would agree, obviously a lot about it and are obviously very passionate about it. I would agree with, 7.58, something like that. I think as far as, I'm sorry?
Yeah, yes, thank you. And for Abby?
And for Abby, I thought it was fantastic. I think that, as MD3 mentioned, I think that, having people, it's a quote from not Thomas Jefferson, confusing my presidents here, but in any ways, when you make somebody feel a certain way, that's really critical. And I think that can often make up for, not that there was any problem that I had with your delivery, but I think it was fantastic. And you're obviously very passionate about what you do, and it just comes out in every which way. I love your business. I think it's great. So I'd give you a 9.5, I'd say.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll take it. Right.
Excellent job. Thank you for that. Great job, Abby and Edward. We're going to flip it around this round. Abby, Gina's back and she's ready for round 2. Are you?
Yes.
All right, let's do this thing. Please, 3 minutes.
So, Ben, thank you again for seeing me today and for taking my call. What I want to do right now is I want to explain to you the benefits of how this is going to grow your business and set you aside from the other home healthcare providers. So, number one, this is going to separate you from your competitors. No one else has this service, nor are they offering it. Number two, this is going to allow your caretakers, which is the cornerstone of your business, your caretakers, to really focus in on the thing that they do best, which is taking care of your clients, because Senior Savvy will be helping them with their technology. And then number three, the client's family are going to see a difference in their folks because they are not also going to be helping their parents with their technology, because the clients will have a place to go to get all of their many questions answered. How does that sound?
So like my great aunt Susie, who called me an hour ago to ask me how to work her iPad, that wouldn't happen anymore? That's
no, because she'll know every Tuesday at 2 p.m. she's going to log on to Zoom and she will be able to get her tech questions answered.
Every Tuesday. So they'll like have structure.
Yes.
They need structure. So they'll have structure. They'll know where to go. They're going to be waiting at 2 o'clock for their 4:30 appointment to work with you.
That's right. And you know what they do? They do just that. They log on to Zoom about a half hour to an hour early, and they're waiting in the waiting room for their time to begin. It's adorable. And I see them just trying to get on in advance because they log into my room all the time. So yes, Susie, your Aunt Susie will know that on Tuesdays, she's going to be able to, there's going to be ample Q&A time at the end of each basics workshop for her to ask questions. Additionally, we always record our workshops and then we send them to your regional director so that any student who wants to go back and start and stop and pause and create settings at the same time can go back and watch them. I always put live transcripts on during my meetings so that my students can read what I'm saying, because that's how they watch TV, right?
Oh, yes, yes. Well, I love it. Thank you.
Excellent.
So, welcome.
Abby, excellent work. How'd that feel for you?
That felt really good. That the point about being a better listener and also stating the benefits. I took those to heart. I quickly jotted down 3 benefits and wanted to make sure that I was ready to offer them.
Awesome. Excellent work. Edward, are you ready to continue your blockchain journey?
Yes, I am.
Let's do it, brother. Thank you. Take us in.
Hey, Jeff. So glad to be on a second call with you. We couldn't finalize our previous call. So I wanted to take the time on this call to clarify that your approach and what you're thinking, you're absolutely right. Unfortunately, there is a lot of misinformation out there, and there is a lot of people taking advantage of just the name blockchain to rip off others. I am of the belief of that about 60 to 70% of the blockchain projects today, or the cryptocurrency projects today, to be exact, are worthless and they're not going to go anywhere. But mind you, blockchain and cryptocurrency are not synonym, and you had that clear already. So pretty much, I know your background in hedge fund. We have a fund ourselves. I used to do risk analysis previously, and would love to chat with you about what we're creating and how we are changing the narratives in the commercial financing world and also in the fundraising world through blockchain, and registering it as a security tokens with the Security Exchange Commission, and pretty much following every single step that needs to be followed to do this the right way.
That's great. Sure. I mean, I'm always happy to learn more.
All right, that's fantastic. Let's set up a follow-up call where we can get into the nitty-gritty. We actually have current transactions that we're working with. Just to give you an example of two of our transactions, we have a $750 million construction loan we're currently working on, and we're doing a hybrid on that. We're doing a 50% loan with a large bank. We're doing a 30% loan with a PACE lender, and we're doing 20% equity tokenization with multiple hedge funds. And another one is we're doing the first commercial real estate loan on blockchain as a debt indenture. It's in a property in Brickell, downtown Miami, 16.8 million loan, 100% on blockchain. And pretty much it gives the opportunity to retail investors and accredited investors to buy in instead of only the elite who buy in the secondary market, mostly CMBS and secondary notes.
Okay, well, that's great. I mean, I would love to learn more. Could always, run that up the chain, and we could ask, more detailed questions, kind of lift up the hood. But yeah, absolutely. I appreciate, your time and the opportunity to learn more.
All right, sound fantastic. Thank you for the opportunity of listening, and let's set up an hour, 30-minute to an hour call to follow up. And I highly appreciate the help.
Okay, and you'll send me an email with information on your firm and things like that.
That's accurate. I'll follow up with an email and follow up with a call as well. So any questions you have after you review our information, we'll go ahead and answer them.
That sounds great.
Awesome.
Thank you for the time.
Great job. Love it. Love it. So, Sean, I know he'll be back any moment. So how'd that feel this round, Edward?
On that. So excellent job. I was listening through the other portal for a second. So Edward, how'd that round feel for you?
And it felt great. Again, I had another concept that I was gonna pose today. So this is literally, I came up with it while we were talking and wanted to talk about it because I saw that Jeff had some intrigued questions on the subject, and he's spot on. It's true. A lot of the guys that are in the cryptocurrency world, unfortunately, are just taking advantage of the name and the hype to make a quick buck. But blockchain in the other end, it's literally the best technology humankind has been able to interact with. And 10 years from now, it's not me saying it. It's going to be on everything and almost anything we do is going to be a part of it. Yes. And those who literally participate now and try to take advantage now and try to get in now are the ones that are going to cash in the rewards.
Well, excellent work, my friend. And Edward, are you ready to have some more fun today in the Real Raw?
Yes, sir.
Abby, are you ready to have some more fun?
Abby, you're muted.
Am I still? You're okay.
You got it. Are you ready to have some more fun?
Yes, bring it on.
All right, let's go. So Abby, I'm going to offer you an opportunity to put me on the hot seat, and where I'll have to go from hello to yes like you did, and you can make me any avatar you want. Put me in the hot seat, put me on the spot, anybody, avatar, real person, anything. The only request is that it's integrous, meaning we can't be selling swampland in the middle of Arizona. Like it's something really integrous, a yes. Could be a hard yes, but whatever it is in the world. So who would you like to set that stage, put me on the spot like you and Edward just were, or would you like to pass that off to somebody else to set the scenario?
Goodness, I think I'm going to have to pass to someone else to set the scenario.
All right, who would you like to pass it to?
Well, it's a toss-up between Gina and Linda.
No, can't be Gina. Can't be Gina.
Okay, Linda.
All right, Linda, who do you want me to be?
Actually, Sean, I think that you should be a tough guy who is not really particularly involved with the educational aspect of a large human resources organization. And Abby wants very badly for you to sign off on her ideas in a way that will at least allow her to gain a couple of squares forward in progress to the decision makers for whether her idea is selected.
All right. So how about this? How about, because I'm gonna be the person on the spot. So how about you're the tough guy and I'm Abby, and I have to go from hello to yes with you?
Oh, that'd be fine.
All right. Does that work for you?
It works for me. Abby, you correct me if I invent anything that you haven't done yet, but I'll be the person.
All right. So ready? And how about so I'm Abby and you are let's call you, what do you want your name to be?
Cruella DeVille would be fine, but
all right, Cruella.
Cruella, yeah.
I'm so thankful that you had a couple of minutes. I know you don't have a lot of time here,
Oh.
but thank you for inviting me into the facility and having a little chat. And I know you're going to make a crisp evaluation, but thank you again.
Well, by all means, proceed. I'm very looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
So can I ask you this real quick? And I know we're down at 2 minutes and 45 seconds now, and I will use the time wisely. Why did you even let me come in the door today? Because I know I've heard that there's some meaningful friction from your perspective about all this. So why did you let me come into the door?
The world is a political place and all work environments are quite. And I did not want to be viewed as a person who was not listening to my constituency. So I am listening, and I think that you will speak well on the subject.
Yeah, listen, I really appreciate that, but I want to serve you and I want to serve the mission, the outcome. May I ask, what's your biggest friction point related to this overall concept? Like, what have you heard so far? I know we have limited time, and what's kind of there for you? Because I want to speak into what matters to you. Because what I have to say, who cares? It's really what matters to you as you're evaluating this, on behalf of the company.
I see small flurries of activity where there is evidence of positivity. But in order to take that and expand upon it across what is becoming an increasingly larger program, because there's a tremendous, every year, more and more people join the ranks of the ever more aged and are living longer and more successfully. This is great, but it adds up to huger dollars and expenditures to keep those people abreast of what is a minute-to-minute conversation about developing technology. So it's very easy to get lost in the sauce. I do not want us to end up in a position where we've agreed to something that will outgrow us and leave us in a position unable to afford you.
Wow. Linda, I love it. Thank you for that. May I ask this, in your role, your position, final question, I know I'll have about a minute to impart some reality and value, and then you can decide if we should have a longer meeting. What's your mission here? Like your vision? I'm hearing a brilliant woman. I'm hearing also a lot of great things about your leadership. What's your vision for this company and its future?
I would be immensely gratified to see virtually every senior under our already massive umbrella feel comfortable plunking out things on their iPad, checking their global iWorld or whatever it is that takes them to Nairobi, and other such features. But I'm terribly concerned that feeding, housing, clothing, and maintaining in at least a rudimentary way their health, safety, and welfare will become increasingly more expensive, and that this added benefit of an alert mind and good skills will become more expensive than we can really effectively afford.
Yeah, understood. So in our final minute here, would it be okay if I could share a bit? Because I'm hearing how much you care not only about the present, but the future of the company, how you're somebody who clearly wants to make informed decisions. And I just want to see if there's something here that's worth your time in having a longer meeting. Is that fair?
Well, to tell you the truth, the kinds of mechanical questions that I have for you would take longer than the minute that you have to speak with me. So I would suggest that you speak with my assistant and arrange to have a 30 to 45 minute meeting, either by Zoom or in person at my office at a time that's open on my calendar, for you to tell me more about how you can do what it is you are promising with the kinds of resources that I have to parse among a very broad menu.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Would it be okay? Because I don't even want you to agree to that yet. If you're not hearing something in the next 30 to 45 seconds that resonates with you at some level, would it be okay if I share? Yeah. Okay.
Please.
Yeah. So there is no capacity that you and this organization have to achieve the outcomes of which you speak without doing something. So the question isn't, should we do something or not? Something has to be done. The question is, are we the right people? In that 30 to 45 minutes, which I am grateful that you have granted, in that time, I will demonstrate, or you could tell everybody in the corporation I couldn't, how your concerns about never-ending spiraling of expansion, which are completely valid, totally appropriate, will be assuaged. My vision, my mission is to be the greatest solution that this corporation could possibly have for achieving these technology outcomes of behavioral shift, paradigm shift. And the work that we do isn't just intellectual, it's energetic, it's vibrational, it's fun, it's magical, it's entertaining, which is what makes it stick. And during that time, I will prove that to you, as well as the fact that we can keep it within scope and budget. Is that fair?
Well, it's actually quite extraordinary. I still have reservations about two things. One is, which are there competitors to what your whole business model proposes? And if so, where are they? Because no one has ever come forward like this before. And secondly, how you can provide a service both so valuable and in anticipation of so broad across such a large number of people for a reasonably equitable price, which is my job.
Oh, amazing. Thank you, Cruella. And we'll pick it up there. Thank you. Off out of roll. Linda, how did that feel for you?
I thought it was about as spot on as it could be.
Well, thank you.
You would want someone like that to be managing your company.
Heck yeah. You did a beautiful job. And Abby, how did I do as you?
You were so convincing. Thank you. And I just love the part where you talked about it being far bigger than just it being tech classes. It's about energy. It's about tapping into greater understanding and empowerment. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. Awesome job. Appreciate that. And let's start back with Linda. How about some feedback for Edward and then for Abby on that second round? Please, Linda, take us in.
I'm going to start with Edward and work my way, because I thought that he caught every fine nuance of the recommendations that were made by MD3, and generally that he himself could have done better with his material, and then dove right in to do the very best that he could in the second round. And by that time, I think Jeff also reverbed off of the general evaluatory comment and rose to the occasion, so that they reached an excellent meeting of minds. It's one would hope to go into a meeting with a stranger and come out with that positive an outcome.
Awesome.
It's
and your score?
Oh, Edward, he catapulted up. He's an 8.9.
Nice, Linda. And how about for Abby?
Now, Abby had the extraordinary good fortune of being sat in for by another person who was exceptionally skilled at their job. And I personally have always been tough but fair. And I was not going to be persuaded out of my realm by a very skilled person. But I do believe by the end of the conversation that Abby did everything in her power to convince me. My score? It's hard for Abby to do better than she had already done, but I'd say a 9.3 would about something.
That's excellent work. Thank you. And Linda, how was your day with us on the Real Raw today? Thank you for your beautiful feedback and your outstanding role play. How was it for you?
I can't hardly think of anything that is more fun to do than stuff like this. This is an extraordinary blessing. It's a stretch. It's like you're silly putty and you go in 5 different directions. You be this, you be that. However you do, regardless of, you want positive impact. And there's lesser and greater amounts of that all around. However, by and large, it's impossible to do anything wrong because everything that you're doing is more and different and better than what you would have done if you hadn't participated today. Exposure to these marvelous people, to hear that exceptional idea about the senior tech thing, which I hope, I haven't written down your information in the chat. I hope before we sign off that I can get it, but mine's in there. So if I don't and you do, please call me. And Eduardo, who has taken an area that most people know nothing about and turned it into like, it's his mantra. He knows almost everything and yet was open-minded enough to reach a fine agreement with someone who has a different type of outlook, and they came to an agreement to meet again. It doesn't get any better. MP3, you're pointing out of others, there are ways they could improve, was spot on and greatly appreciated by all of us. So,
well, thank you, Linda. Beautiful work. Thank you. Jeff, please, what did you have for Edward?
Great. I thought Edward's second dialogue was great. I think that, you know, as Linda had mentioned, that, you know, he listened to a lot of the feedback. There's something I think unique to kind of the investment world when kind of getting people to open up. And this kind of goes back to my own training, which is that investments are guilty before they're innocent, right? Before proven innocent. It's kind of the opposite of certainly in the law, right? Yeah. So, you know, he got talking about changing the narrative and whatnot, but I think critical to that is establishing legitimacy. So he mentioned, you know, the SEC, he mentioned some other things. So I thought that was really good. You know, in the follow-up email that he sends to me, I would kind of, you know, look for reaffirmation of that legitimacy, and I would kind of look for those things. But I think that was good. What's up?
What'd you have for a score?
And what's your score?
My score, I would say 8.9. Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. How about
and then for Abby, I thought it was really good. You know, she used a term that I love, which is, she said, so that, you know, she said this, so that, right? And I think brought the conversation into the arena. I mentioned a quote earlier, that's Teddy Roosevelt. I think of the arena as where a lot of this stuff happens, right? I think that what Sean did really, really well in my observations with your conversation was you asked about vision, you got them to open up and so on. And so getting into that arena, I think Abby did that really well. And I'd probably say, you know, 9-3 in that call.
Nice. Well, excellent job, Jeff. Truly appreciate great feedback. A lot of expertise and mastery demonstrated for sure. And how was your time with us today?
This was great. I mean, it's, you know, I love the process of self-improvement. It's sometimes uncomfortable and, you know, uneasy but I enjoy that. I love this process, and certainly am humbled to have been on and to be a judge and for you to have me. So,
well, thank you. And we're humbled as well and honored. Thank you, Jeff. MD3, my friend, what'd you have for Edward, please?
Edward, so your person had problems explaining concerns about the industry. So you quickly accept that fact that, yes, you're right, there's a lot of scoundrels out there, and accept, acknowledge, and then move on, explain why you're different. The second thing is, you know, I think you need to continue to ask questions to get them up. Like you're pulling the person up a ladder one step at a time. So you ask questions, get them to buy in and agree and keep saying, yes, you agree with that, right? Versus lecturing, because if you're just constantly lecturing, you're just maybe overselling yourself. I understand you're very smart and you're very knowledgeable about the topic, but you got to get them to someone like me that's not as interested in this topic. You got to give me one step at a time up the ladder.
And your score is?
8.7.
Nice. And how about for Abby?
Abby, you did a very good job about building rapport and connecting the dots in terms of you understand about seniors, and I have a senior in my house, blah, blah. So that was very good. But the same scenario of when you're selling the benefits, you're asking questions to lock them in. You would agree with that, right? You want to save money, right? You want to expand to a different audience, right? So using those kind of techniques to get the person, again, up the ladder, one step at a time, to eventually say, the final yes to a meeting or your sales close, one or the other. So view it as a process of pulling somebody else up the ladder.
And your score?
9.3.
For Abby, MD?
Nice.
9.3.
MD3, thank you for your feedback. Thank you for everything you're doing here and in the world. And how was your day rolling with us on the Real Raw today, MD3?
I enjoyed it. I didn't kind of know what to expect. And though I've done this on Monday, and it's informative, and I think this level of mastery of communication is very vital, and so obviously this is another resource to improve one's skills.
No, thank you very much. Appreciate you being here, MD3. Great job. Let's go, Abby. Thanks.
Yes.
Great work. Love what you're up to. And how was your time with us today?
It was great. I had an opportunity to really refine something that I've just been churning around in my mind. So any chance I have to pitch, to listen, to refine, to hone in is what I want to take. And so I thank you all for your expertise here, because I'm going to put this into my next real pitch. And it's really loved what you just said, MD3, about the ladder and getting the agreement and then moving on from there. So thank you.
Yeah, excellent work, Abby. Thank you. And Edward, thank you so much for being here, for your bold journey and venture into enlightening on the blockchain world. How was your day here with us today?
Oh, fantastic, man. As long as I get to share, and pretty much, again, my main thing is try to educate, because the reality is, unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation out there. So whenever I get the opportunity to share what we have and what we're doing with others, it's gratifying. You see, that's the biggest compliment. When I go after a client, and we do deals from 5 million and up to billions of dollars. And the reality is, for me, a $5 million client and a $5 billion client is the same exact thing.
Nice.
And even if we don't get their business, if they leave with the information correctly, and they get, because just as Jeff said, there's a lot of scammers out there. It's the truth. Now, security tokens, there's very little. There's nobody actually talking about it. You see, this is 90% of what we do is we're being in the making for 2 years, okay? And we have been working with the regulators hand in hand to pretty much get into an agreement and pretty much saying, hey, this technology can be used. This could be actually, this could help a lot. This could give access as well. And I don't know, Jeff maybe more informed on the subject of, not every investor gets the opportunity that the funds that have billions of dollars get, that there's a huge difference. And that's the gap that I'm trying to fill. You see, I'm trying to level the playing field, that the family offices that manages a couple million have the opportunity to actually invest in the stuff that the big fans that manage billions actually have.
Yeah. Well, my friend, we wish you all the best, and we are grateful for your time here with us today.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and for all of us, really appreciate you. And the work that we do is not only in the space of influence, but it's also what to do with it. How to get yourself to use it in the face of our fears of rejection, failure, confusion, the myths of relationship creation, randomness. How do you intentionally use integrity-based human influence to dramatically grow and rise your money, time, and magic? We talk about it every Monday night. If that you're looking for more, I'm imagining you're here because you're looking for more in your money, your time, or your magic. You're in the right place. We look forward to continuing the journey. If not, we love you and thank you anyway. And Gina, final. How was your day today?
Final is amazing. I think there might be some ecosystem mergers happening as a result of the show today. This is where I think we brought a pretty integrous group here together, and it is incredible So thank you so much, Sean, for all that you do. Monday night is definitely something not to miss, where Sean unpacks more of this. So we'll connect with you all, and we can add you to that private event, and we'd love to see you there. So Sean Callagy, thank you.
Gina, great job. Abby, Edward, Linda, Jeff, MD3, appreciate you on this Why Wednesday. Why Wednesday is all about our heart, our vision, and where we're headed. Because Gina Ricci, with all of the brilliance here today, we're still all blind.
Just learning to see.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Fabulous. Indeed.